Yo, it's your boy Joestar TCG, and today we having a first on the channel with Tabletop Gaming. Hoping we have many more of this. Trust me, it's about to be lit. Anyway, I went up MVE Collectibles to run some matches with man like Stewie. All they know him in the community, one of the best, one of the greatest, you know. Giving me extra dip on the chip, you know, the vibes. But just wanted to make sure I'm paid in there. If you need any TCG products, MV is located at Mid-Center Mall upstairs, Mario's Pizza. They have all the TCG items for like Pokemon booster boxes, ETBs. They have your Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have. They have your One Piece packs. You know, they have everything nice for you. So if you want, check them out. Mid-Center Mall, Shagonas, upstairs Mario's Pizza. But enough for that. Let's get into the video here. Some tabletop gaming. Let's go. Alright, so we're starting up here with the match. User Earthen Vessel. Some people was kind of like shaking the table there. So, you know, this kind of happened. That's alright. I'll just use an Earthen Vessel, do a little quick deck check, making sure what I have, what I do have, what prize, you know, all that jazz. And yeah, the openings were, my hand was kind of doo-doo. I wasn't sure of his hand, but yeah, my hand was kind of doo-doo. And starting off with the Petrant against his Fluttermane in the active, which was tragic, if we're being honest, because I have no abilities. I can't use Subjugating Chains, which is unfortunate. Just put on the Serendipity and attach to the active. Now, in that situation, I could have probably started to stack up the Serendipity, but it didn't really make sense to me at the moment, I believe. So yeah, well, right now we're conversing, but I ain't gonna lie to you, the audio in this is pretty bad. I had to find a way to make that work. I had to try to find a way to figure it out, but that's alright. But yeah, he was kind of going through the motions, realizing that, oh my hand is also garbage, or my hand isn't the best. So I had to try to figure out some way to work this out. Probably in between I might let the audio play loud and we go hear the atrocity, but for now it's alright, man. I see, just play a little nest ball to the tree deck to start organized. Now, by the way, I play in let me say, not as Turbo Moon, the list that I posted on the channel, the last video I posted on the channel, that is the deck I play in local today here. And yeah, playing against his poison package ancient box. Basically, the idea he have behind the deck is that he would be able to get a bit more damage earlier and later when that time comes. You can see me on the side right there making a purchase of Mew because I need that for the deck, but unfortunately the Mew was prized. Nevertheless, yeah, continuing with the match, he just get 2 energy off of the vessel, attach for turn, realizing that there's not much else he could do, and proceeds to pass. Yeah. And then looking at my hand, the top deck of the century, no, it's just Moon. Attach the ancient booster, yeah, energy in hand, we would attach the energy for the turn and call that George, because there's not much else we can do. Alright, he draws for turn. Should probably like cut out some of these slower moments, get to the good stuff. Lol. But yeah, he attached for turn. Right now he hitting a cool 90. Yeah, showing my hand to the camera how dead it is. A Night Stretcher, ancient booster. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that situation. What I'm supposed to do with that. And he was just showing me that all his supporters were stacked to the bottom now. Basically not having access to any supporters early, which kind of slow down the pace of the game for such turbo decks now. You know, decks that go in so fast, they're being slowed down considerably. That's not ideal, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you're not really in control of the cards you're dealt with this game. It's all about fate and how you play the hands you've been dealt. So he manages to pass because he can't do much else after just getting some energy from the deck. I draw something, not sure, can't remember. Ultra Ball, nice, Ultra Ball. Let's look in the deck, let's see what we go for. Here we discarded a Vesselana energy there. Wait, why would I discard a vessel? I don't even know why I discard a vessel, but it's alright. Just looking through the deck to find what mons we can. Probably went for a baby moon at this point. Yeah, looking at it, probably went for a baby moon. All this conversation going on, we talking to each other, having a nice little talk here, and pressure. Then all that audio. Matter of fact, I feel like it's a good time. Just take a little small thing in the audio, dog. Here what's going on here with this audio here, dog. I'm gonna put it to 50%. Yeah, boy. Pressure in the camp with her. Somebody else shaking up that table. But yeah, so I went to get baby moon. Hopefully that shuffle of the deck will provide me with a bit better draw, a bit better top deck in that situation. Alright, so Stu draws from the top. I believe it's this turn when he realizes that it's time to attack. He can't really do much. And if he allows me to stay online this long, like any much longer, it would be to his detriment. So he was like, alright, it's time to swing. He get back the Petulant EX. He attaches for turn. Yeah, in that situation I realized my price cards were upside down. I'm a guy, I like my order, you know. So yeah, he Night Stretcher back the Monkey Dory, attach to the active, and retreat to the bench, promoting the Roaring Moon. And he hitting for a cool 90. That's pretty bad damage on like the 4th turn of the game or 3rd turn of the game. That's pretty bad, but I mean, it is what it is. We just had to make do with what we have right now. Yeah, the little poison counters, you know, you have to keep track of that. Oh, well, no, not the poison, the damage. Yeah, you hit me for 90. And because of the scenario, next turn pretty grim for me. And I feel like I had Sada in my hand at some point in time, or maybe I got a pokey gear, but yeah, it's just like pass, because I don't believe. Okay, I used boss to bring up the Fluttermane, which was a bad one on my part. Like Stu was named, but I should have brought up the Brute Bonnet, because that's a 4 retreat cost, so that provide me with a bit more time. But yeah, it wasn't ideal for me in that situation. He just attached retreat back into swinging time. He poisons, and because he hit a 90 and he hit a 90 again, Petulant has 190 HP. 9 and 9 is 18, so he kills me with poison. So Pheasantipity is offline, unfortunately. We push the Roaring Moon into the active and we draw for turn. And the draw for turn here, I'm not entirely sure as to what it is, but okay, yeah, I guess I was doo-doo out of luck there. Had no outs, had no ways to play. He poisons me because he feel like it, but I can't get poisoned. But the Roaring Moon is poisoned actually from the last turn, so he had to take 10 damage during Pokemon checkups. I forgot to keep track of that, but yeah. Because of the scenario, I guess he could just, alright, he cleansed the poison, and yeah, basically just go back to swinging for 90. Yeah, we realizing how grim it is, how bad it is. Like, these decks supposed to be moving fast, but clearly they're not moving fast. We Pokegear. Looking at the top 7. Finding ourselves the Great Sada, the supporter card that makes this deck go wrong. I'm watching how to shuffle. Shuffle exquisitely right now. Talented shuffler, way. Yeah, I was telling him that he's not sure what I'm going to do right now, but I'll give him the hint. I'm going to use Professor Sada. Because, I mean, what else am I going to do? Yeah, so we attach the Baby Moon on the bench, draw 3 cards. And it provides me with an out, hopefully. Well, yeah, for sure it does, because I believe at this turn it gets running. That is Nando there, dropping off the 2 One Piece cards for my day. I'm going to try to take any One Piece all this. Stay tuned, stay tuned. Might only be tabletop though, because the simulator, I don't know how to operate it properly. But yeah. But like I say, I was just conversating a little bit about the One Piece. But at this point in the game, I was like, okay, he has 2 prize advantage on me in a position where I could start to turn it up. We drop down the monkey and play. And I believe we have an energy in hand to attach. Oh, no, we Night Stretcher. Yeah, the Night Stretcher that we had earlier clock. We get back an energy. We attach it to the monkey. Then we move damage over, because I believe that we had energy switch in hand at this point. So we move 3 damage over, realizing that that dice doesn't have 60 on it. So I have to get another dice. But yeah, we move damage over to... Yeah, we move damage over to the Flutter Mane. Because knowing full well that I'm gonna knock out this turn, he would want to promote the Flutter Mane, so I'll be able to get our damage out. And using Calamity Storm, when you use our attack, you do 100, but if there's a stadium in play and you discard that stadium, you do 120 more damage. So in total, you do 220 damage, which was enough to knock out the Roaring Moon, giving me my first prize of the game. And he just Ultra Ball one time just to get Pheasantipiti's to get himself rolling, to get himself running. Because Pheasantipiti's draw in this game is insanely good. Hey, when I tell you it's insanely good, it's really good. Like, being able to draw 3 cards is so cracked. Yeah, just getting him a cut right there. And then he hits up the Pheasantipiti for the one time. Yeah, you see a little marker. He was looking for a particular play. Not sure exactly what play he was looking for, but he tried to show the camera, but the camera was pointing too low. Oh no, Arnold didn't see it. Well, the viewers not even seeing it. Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, he had a particular play in hand that he was looking to do, but he wasn't able to get it at that time. Then plays Explorer's Guidance. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and you could add 2 to your hand, and then you discard 4. So primarily why they would put this in ancient boxes, because if you pull up a bunch of ancient cards that you don't need to use right now, you could then take what you need, let me say energy, or yeah, in his case energy and Baby Moon, and he discards the 4, adding way more fuel to the attack of Roaring Moon, because Roaring Moon's attack is the amount of ancient cards you have in your discard pile is how much damage you do plus 70. So you would count, but basically you'll count, 70, 80, 90, depending on how much cards you have in the discard. But yeah, basically is just that. And seeing as anticipated, he would have promoted the Flutter Mane with the damage on it. He also, but I also played on the what do you call him, the Roaring Moon for that. Then I manually retreated the Roaring Moon so I could get access to Sada's Vitality to get 3 more cards to be able to play the game just a bit better. And putting myself in this position now, I have a single prize in the active, and also single prize in the active, and plus I'm going to even out the prize trade right now, because he took 2 prizes early on, and then I took 1 prize, and now I'll be taking the second prize, which would even it out to 4 prizes, and would leave me on the correct prize mapping to get the remainder of prizes within the next 2 turns, providing I knock out the 2 prizes. In his case, he only has 1-2 prize on board, but as the game progressed, you would see he had to make some difficult decisions, and the luck of the draw helped me quite a lot. I just said I move 3 and put it on the Fez. What I should have done in that situation was move 3 and put it on the active, so that in the event he gets his Monkey Dory online, I would not have any worry about him moving back damage, So that was a misplay in my situation there. But the Flutter Mane down, I taking another prize, promotes the Baby Moon, and then we start his turn. I ain't gonna lie to you, wait, I will never show. Maybe could probably put like 2 incomes or something like that, but usually Pheasantipiti 1 time because his hand isn't that strong, maybe, I'm not sure. Earthen Vessel away, the Explorer's Guidance. realizing that he only has one more energy, which means that one energy is prized because this deck runs 7 energy, than opposed to my deck running 8 energy. Because I play the big moons, I believe that 8 energy would have been more ideal because I need 3 energy per attack, unless I hit him with the baby moon, which I would need 2 energy. But in his case, having the 7 is a nice decent number because he only needs 2 to attack. So you see, in this situation here where he puts the dark energy on the Monkey Dory, he gains access to Adrenabrain, which allows Monkey Dory to move up to 30 damage from one of your Pokemon onto one of your opponent's Pokemon. So he moves he would end up using the Adrenabrain and moving the damage off the Fez onto my active, I believe, or onto the Roaring Moon. Not entirely sure. But he finds a nest ball of the Sada and finds himself a Roaring Moon. Doing a little checkup on the amount of energy. Yeah, to make sure that he has all the energy in play. Making sure that he is right as rain, ready to go. Making his final checks here, trying to make that nice, neat number of well, I guess how much he needs to KO. Well, right now he would most likely be KO, like knocking out my baby moon for sure. But I guess he's trying to stack up his discard to ensure that he'll be able to knock out the big moon when that time comes. So right here he uses the Ultra Ball. I'm not entirely sure if he's using it for anything or if he's just using it for just to check his resources to see what's in the deck, what remaining in the deck. Alright, so he takes out another baby moon, just thinning the deck a bit more to make sure to find what he needs when he needs it. Seeing as how thin the deck gets in, my deck a little thick, but as the game progresses you'll realize these type of decks tend to run through their deck very quickly. Run through the total cards in the deck very quickly. So looking at it, he does use Brubonnet to Toxic Powder, which poisons the both active Pokemon. Using the Monkey Dory now to move the 3 damage back over to the damaged Roaring Moon. And right here he was saying he don't want me to be able to use Frenzy Gouging, but in that situation I had an Ancient Booster Capsule on the Roaring Moon, and the Ancient Booster Capsule provides the Pokemon with 60 plus HP, and it can be affected by special conditions like poison that you see there. So he knocks out the baby moon, taking a prize. He's on 3 prizes and I am on 4 prizes now, which is pretty good if I do say so myself, providing myself with the opportunity to use Pheasantipity to draw, but using the nest ball first to look through the deck, see what we might need to take out. Probably looking at a Petulant EX here, or maybe looking at another baby moon. Oh, I lie, we're going for the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Yeah, that's a one-off situation. We play the Blood Moon Ursaluna to ensure that late game we gain that knockout guaranteed, in the case both big moons down. We use the Earthen Vessel. I'm not sure if we locked in on discarding those cards. Yeah, we was gonna discard the Pokegear, but we changed our mind. We used the Earthen Vessel. I believe I had like 1 energy in deck and 1 any prizes. So basically right now I was kind of just like trying to thin as much as I could to be able to ensure that I would find Sada. At least I believe so. Yeah, I went against the play. I just shuffle up, give him the opportunity to shuffle to cut the deck, and then I believe I used Pokegear to find Sada. Pheasantipity first, right? That's correct sequence, innit? You use Pheasantipity, you draw. Oh, the greatest card ever. Pokemon catcher, flip a coin, heads. It is heads, and we get Pheasantipity up to the active. People say Pokemon catcher is a half of a card. I might agree with them, so that's why you play 4, so you have 2 cards. You play with 58, but you have 2 cards. Trust. But in this deck, I'm playing two, so I only playing one card short, if that is the case. Using the Tongue Store to equip my Roaring Moon with the Ancient Booster Capsule, giving him a total of 290 HP, which is pretty good, if I do say so myself. Then we're gonna use Secret Box. Oh, we had Secret Box in hand. No, we probably got Secret Box off the Pheasantipity draw. Yeah, we did. And then we'll get ourselves a tool, a stadium, a supporter, and an item. That's what Secret Box does. You discard 3 cards from your hand, and it allows you to find those 4 cards. Now, in my situation, it's very beneficial because it allows me to get the Sada, so I don't need to use the Poke Getter, Hopper Getter of the top 7 cards. I was able just to find her exactly. And as you see, my deck as well begins to shrink in size. Nice, just showing them the 4 cards I took. Gonna play the Sada one time. Gonna attach the energy to the both moons. So my moon in the active spot now has the energy to attack. Draw 3 cards. Nice, yeah, and we did use Pheasantipity already. I'm gonna rest down another one, right? The Petron's EX. And just making a check of the energy situation right there. We use the Monkey Dory to move the damage over to the active, yeah, which is the correct thing to do. You move the damage over to the active, so that when you take out that Pokemon, that damage is no longer in play, so you don't have to worry about it coming back to you because of his Monkey Dory. So yeah, now in that situation, just attach for turn to the Roaring Moon, and then we use Calamity Storm for hitting for 220, discarding the Tongue Store Stadium, taking 2 prize cards. Imagine to find the Mew of those prize cards, so I took out my Illustration Rare Mew. If you know, you know. I only have one IR Mew. Yeah, he's just showing off the Mew. That is a hand-drawn prestige quality. It actually is the first of its kind, a Terra version of Mew, believe it or not. So yeah, don't worry. If you need, pristine artwork like that, just let me know, hit me up. But yeah, getting back into the game now. I am on the better side of prize mapping. Right there I was showing him a tech card that I have in play, or in my deck, for those persons that like to use those pesky mist energy. The card is Mawile from Obsidian Flames. I'll probably throw up a picture of it for you, where you could see that what it does is when you play it from your hand onto your bench, you discard 1 special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So more times than not, they would have the mist energy attack to whatever they're playing to prevent them from getting Frenzy Gouge, because mist energy says that it protects you from effects of attacks, and Frenzy Gouging is an effect of an attack. So that's why it won't work against a Pokemon that has mist energy on them. But in this situation, he isn't so, how to say, in such a good standing, because I believe he was just 10 shy of being able to knock out the Roaring Moon because of its beefy 290 HP, and because it had no damage on his side for him to move over, it kind of left him in a position where, yeah, you couldn't really do much. Yeah, I was doing the check here now to see how much ancient cards he had in his discard pile, and he had a ton. If we're being honest, he had a ton. And he used Nest Ball probably to find himself Pheasantipity, right? He used the Super Rod to get back the Pheasantipity in deck, and then he used the Nest Ball to find him because he needed a bit more draw. Even though he used Sada, he needed a bit more draw to find what he needed to set up for the next turn. In this situation here, I believe he found Secret Box, and he discarded He discarded 3 cards. He didn't want to discard his last Sada because I don't believe he had access to Palpad anymore. And that was the last Sada index. So in the event that he got knocked out, he wouldn't have been able to generate energy from the discard and draw, which would not have been ideal in his situation. But he managed to go into his deck and find 2 ancient cards along with an Ultra Ball. Oh no, he had 1 more Sada, so he could have discarded the Sada. If he did discard the Sada in hand, he would have had enough to knock out my active. But because he didn't discard the Sada in hand, he is now 1 damage short. But in that situation, discarding both my Sadas is not the play. Trust. Discarding both Sadas is not the play at all. But yeah, I was just showing him that he had the ancient booster, and then he realizes that damn, I shot in just 10 damage. Probably I could paint a little clip of the audio there. Let me see. Yeah, so you can hear a little bit of the audio there. It was, once you see it not as loud, it kind of cleans up a little bit, but it's still, you know, still iffy at best. But yeah, just using the Night Stretcher to probably get themselves back in energy. Yep. And we had the Tongue Store in hand from the last turn, which we would then use the Tongue Store, you know, just to take a look in the deck, see what resources we have, see what's good, see what's looking. And in that situation there, I was supposed to use Monkey Dory to move the damage to the active, like I said before, but I forgot, and I just kind of like hyper focus on just knocking out the active. But I believe I had Boss in hand, or I needed to dig for it a little bit, or did I have it in hand? I wasn't entirely sure. I believe it was kind of like a Pokey Gear into Boss kind of thing. I was wondering if I needed to thin a bit more. Oh no, I played Iono. Why I didn't play Pokey Gear to try and find Boss? Oh, he was showing the Sada in hand. And yeah, I was looking at the 2 cards hoping that they were Pokemon Catcher, because I didn't have Boss at the time. So yeah, just use Calamity Storm to knock out the active, discarding the Stadium. Don't want to give him access to that Tongue Stone. Next thing you see, you have an Ancient Booster. You want to get used upon his Pokemon. I'm just shaking on that table, boy. Boom. But yeah. Alright, so looking at that, just attach the Binding Mochi, and now in this position, the Binding Mochi provides him with a good enough opportunity to be able to knock out for sure. So no matter what he did in this situation, it was over, because in the event he does knock out, I just had to promote the bear because he'll be on 1 prize, because my Rowan Moon is a 2 prizer and he's on 3 prizes right now. So I'll just need to promote the bear, who would be able to attack for free, which would then end the game. So it was kind of like a GG if you do, GG if you don't, you know. But nevertheless, it was a pretty good game. Really slow start, unfortunately, for such, let me say, turbo decks or faster decks in the format, but it was still alright. It was a good game nevertheless. Went pretty well when the ball got rolling, you know. Started to see the combos, see the potential of the deck. A real shame that he was able to short just 10 damage using Pheasantipity to try to find last 3 cards. But again, because it had no damage on his side of the bench, he wasn't able to move any damage over to knock out the Rowan Moon. Because if he had access to damage, he would have been able to knock out my Rowan Moon on the bench and then knock out the active. So I don't even need to worry about it. Just push the bear and knock out, because yeah, you can have just drop it in and then knock out the active. Last one is a prize card. I thought it was Boss for some reason, but the Boss was in deck. But nevertheless, that is the game right there, guys and gals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do a longer video. Thanks to those who stuck through and stuff like that. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, do have a wonderful day. Keep well, keep good. And yeah, be good people. Peace.
Chad.